taking a little stroll. Look at that sky. Can you see that? We got rain. Checking on the Neo-Hermitis. She's working on the avocottage. This is the second video in the poll series. This one's on women's self-defense. And I thought long and hard about the opening sentence. And here it is. Yes, I am for women self-defense. It's a great idea. All right, so let's just dive right into it. I've been doing women's self-defense training, specifically firearms training, for about 30 years. Yes, I give private instruction. I was an NRA certified instructor, and wow, my face looks really red. I must have got sunburn. Okay, I'm a pretty good marksman, and I think every American citizen and every citizen of the world has the right to protect themselves, especially women. So, what am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you, no matter what age you are, ladies, you need to defend yourself. So there's more than one way of doing that, and I'm going to give you some suggestions, some of my experience, some learning on your personal defense. It is your responsibility, first and foremost. So, you are weaker than most male opponents. That's assuming that a person who may prey on you is probably going to be a male. Whether you're 12 to 80 years old, you're not as strong as a man your size and age. So what is your best defense besides, just being smart? It's a firearm. Now, we're going to go back to the being smart thing, because there are some things you can do that will generally help your personal safety. One of those things is don't be in situations that are dangerous for you, like shopping at midnight in a bad part of town. You've probably heard of the video of a girl in a Kansas Walmart. She walks in from the parking lot. She does her shopping. They have her leaving, and then they show a young man following her, and she disappeared, and she was found dead a few days later. You are vulnerable when you are shopping. You are vulnerable at nighttime. You should not be out doing those things. Do your shopping in the daytime and be home at night. Okay, so that's a tip. Don't be in bad places where bad people hang out. Don't be in a bar drunk at 2 o'clock, not sure how to get home. Don't be out in the woods all alone, unprotected. So just fill in your own blanks there. That's a thing, okay? Now, as far as your personal protection and a firearm is concerned, that is the equalizer for you. And most police departments, most law enforcement people, most first responders are going to be on your side should an incident happen. Those guys, I've been on scenes before. They do not want to be the ones who find your ripped up body dead. Those guys would much rather find you shaken, crying, maybe injured, but alive, and a dead bad guy there. They would much rather do that. Trust me. So don't put them through that if you're not going to care about what happens to yourself. Okay? But you should care about what happens to yourself. You have a right to that. So and I'm going through this quickly because I don't want this to be a long, drawn-out video for you all. Women, we need to address the elephant in the room with our self-defense, and that is our fear of a firearm, which is stupid, okay? It is a fear based on misinformation, not correct information. So very quickly, I'm going to try to address that with you right now. I want you to go pick up a hammer in your house, and I want you to tell that hammer to harm somebody, and then I want you to sit there and wait for that hammer to harm somebody. And when you've figured out that the hammer cannot harm somebody by itself, then just take that same technique and apply it to a firearm. A firearm is a hunk of metal. It is not a sentient being. And so a firearm cannot of itself get up and hurt somebody. That should be one thing that helps take away your fear. Second thing is proper instruction will teach you how that firearm works exactly. And then it is no different from you understanding how a food processor works. Because if a food processor goes wrong, injury can result. And there's little things about putting a food processor together and making it work that require you to understand that thought process. It's the same thing with a firearm. It's a tool. So get proper instruction. You will understand firearms after that, and then you will stop being afraid of them, and you can use them to protect yourself. All right, so we've dealt with those fears. Who am I going to recommend you get to instruct you? Well, if you were in my area, you could contact me, but I know most of you aren't, and so I'm going to tell you, go to the NRA. But Sister Kate, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care what their politics are. The National Rifle Association established, at least in America, the firearms rules of safety and also accurate firing of a firearm in the mid-1860s, okay? Right after the Civil War was over, the NRA was established to teach our military the proper use of a firearm, and they have been the basis for all schools I've ever seen, instructors, guys doing videos. When they talk about a golden rule of safety and keep your finger off the trigger and don't let your muzzle of your firearm point at anything you don't want to be destroyed, all of that comes from the basis of the NRA. So, and I was one of their instructors. I was a certified instructor with them for 5 years. So I know what they teach, and it's solid. It's the same thing that our Olympic firearms athletes are taught. Okay, a lot of them are taught in NRA youth programs. So I don't care what you think about the politics. Those guys know firearms, and they will teach you and instruct you responsibly and correctly. So what you do is just contact their national headquarters and ask for an NRA certified instructor in your area. Why am I not giving you like the name of a private business? Because I don't know what kind of training their instructors have had. Even if someone has been like a police officer beforehand, not all police officers are given the kind of instruction that an NRA certified instructor is going to give you in like basic pistol class and basic rifle class. So that is my recommendation to you. Skip drama, skip, you know, this flashy school where they've got $1 million facility and everything else. Get the basics, learn, get smart, and quit being afraid. Take your own self-defense seriously, all right? Firearm. Now, also, I do think getting some kind of physical defending yourself training is not a bad idea, but understand you're not going to go toe-to-toe with a guy. You're not going to sit there and duke it out with this fella. If you're taught things there, the best thing for you to do is use whatever they teach you to get away. And screaming and yelling is definitely part of our repertoire of calling attention to yourself, because predators don't like having attention on them, okay? And another instruction I want to give you comes from FBI statistics, and that is 95% of women who are hauled into a car are horribly, horribly treated and are killed. Okay, so you do not ever want to give in. You do not ever want to passively say, okay, well, whatever. If someone threatens you or tries to drag you into a car or anything, you need to fight like the Dickens. And if they shoot you right there, it's better than being in the car, because they've got a weird little plan in their head, and they're going to take you somewhere, and they're going to live out that plan, and that's what they're counting on. So when you fight and you fuss and you scream and you draw attention to yourself, you're giving yourself a fighting chance, okay? So take it seriously, and really be committed to that. It's important. So there you have it. That's my beliefs in a nutshell. You're welcome to ask me questions in the comments section, and I will give you my best advice. Thank you so much for taking part in the poll, and I'll go on to the next one. in a day or two. Shabbat's coming up, so I'm going to have to take a break. And right over there, that thing is what I've been working hard on for the last 3 days. Getting it up to snuff, getting it maintained, and dealing with issues because it's kind of sat unused for about 4 or 5 years. So if I've seemed kind of tired in my videos before this, it's because of that. Anyway, bless you. I got to get going. Shalom.